Hi there. In this video I want to take a look at the array modifier. So we've got just a cube here. I deleted the lamp and camera, and we are in the modifier tab. So if we click here, we can add any modifier that we want, and in this case we want one from the generate category. This all add geometry in some way. So I'll just pick this first one, and you see that we get a duplication of our cube. And we get this interface here with quite a few settings actually to help us dictate how this array modifier is gonna change our object. So let's look at the settings here. First we got this fit type here, and it's currently set to fixed count, and I would argue this is probably the 99% use case. It's a fixed count, but other alternatives are that we can fit to length or fit to a curve. And I'll just the fit to count here, I will just increase the number of cubes. So I'm just gonna quickly jump down here and just slightly increase this so that we can see that there are actually multiple cubes here, even if they from the start here didn't have any space between them. Okay, so this is the fixed count, and we can just increase and decrease this number here. The fit length will just take some number of meters and fit however many cubes with a given offset that will that will fit into that space. If we move down to fit curve, something that I never really use, then we can have a curve object here. So we'll just Shift A, go to curve and Bezier curve here. I'll Control Z that to have some wireframe. Select this and just move this like here. Now you might think that, oh, fit curve, that should follow the curve, but that's not the case. It will just take the same length as the curve and apply however many of the object that fits into that space there. So I'll just demonstrate that. I'll select the Bezier curve here, and you can see that the count changed, but it won't actually follow the curve. It will just create however many cubes that we can fit in however long this is, no matter which direction it's going. So just delete that and go back to fixed count. Next we have the constant and relative offset. We also have object offset down here, and these can be used together or by themselves. Generally you probably just use one at a time. The constant offset will just be a fit length, so you can see that we can have intersecting cubes here if we have a very low value. Actually that's the case with relative as well, but we have to have a value lower than 1. So with the relative, a value of 1 will be the length of the object that we are arraying across here, and these are corresponding of the axis. So this is the x and this is the y axis, and then the z axis. So if we can create something stair like here, we can combine these however we want with constant, which is just not in relation to the width of the actual cube, but just some distance. Something interesting here is that we can also use an object offset. We can use any object, but in this case I'm just going to go Shift A and add in an empty plane axis there. And we're going to take this cube here and select this and add it here so that we have that empty there. We're going to add some count here, perhaps 20. Select the empty and then start to move this, and the offset will be dependent on the position of this empty. So I'll grab that in the X direction, and then I will just press R, Z, and rotate it on Z direction, and you can see that we can start to create quite interesting arrays, and we can create very interesting patterns and what's the word I'm looking for? Roads, curves, or paths for the array to take when it's duplicating. Alright, so that's the offsets here. We can also merge, and that's probably easiest to demonstrate with relative offset, and we can just go 0 on this axis and 1 here. And if we press merge here, and probably easiest if I just temporarily apply this, then we can go into edit mode here. You can see that these actually merge together if the vertices occupy the same space here. I'll just go back, so we have the array again, and if I deselect that and apply again, you'll see that we don't have that. There are still separate objects. Control L, you can see that we have all of the geometry there. So we'll step back with Control Z, increase that so we can see the count here. Maybe take that down to 10 or so. We can also use first and last and then a distance value, so that we can merge vertices in first and last duplicates, meaning that we can merge this end with this end if they come together at some point. And the distance that they will be merged can be adjusted here. We can set a cap. I'm just jumping over this UV here, but we can set a cap, like a start and end cap. So if we have some other object, we can cap that to the starting and the end here. Just selecting that. That's something that at least I don't use very often, and I will skip demonstrating it here. Same with the UVs here. This is just for offsetting the texture space or the UV space in the U and V coordinates, so that we can have some variation on how the textures are projecting on our cubes as they progressively get more and more and more. Alright, so that's gonna be it for this video. I hope this was helpful for you, and thank you for viewing. Bye!